Doom, 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 doom. What's up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Monday Night Football. We got special guest Kelly in Vegas here with us, as we always do on Monday, man. Trying to get some cash. Really fun game to watch tonight, Kelly. How you doing over there? Everything cool with you?
Hey, everything's cool. Last day in Chicago, ready to get back home and back to normal. So appreciate if there's any tech issues that you guys understand. But yeah, it's been a really great week. Had a great Saturday. Almost hit 3 outright underdogs yet again. Went 2 for 3. Unfortunately, Kentucky had some kicking blunders and then a late fumble. You got to do what you got to do. But I'm with you, Jay, here to get some cash. Yesterday, I bet against the Cowboys like an idiot. Outside of that, really great day. Got to go to Lambeau Field, watch Patriots plus 10 cash live. So that's always fun. Get to sweat it out. People are staring at you all crazy like because I got Packers gear on, yet I'm cheering for the Pats. I'm like, no, I want you guys to win, just not by more than 9. And my boyfriend's looking like, you look like you're speaking Spanish to these people. Leave them alone. They don't care about your bets. But it was a great time. Been really enjoying being up north, besides the fact that I'm freezing, as you can tell by this oversized hoodie. So I'm ready to get back to the warm.
Yeah, I'm ready to get back to it too, man. It was a really good weekend, really good day yesterday. Good day in college football as well. It would really been nice if the Charlotte could have been beating UTEP, but still the bigger play with Okie State cash is there.
Nice.
Let's keep it going, man. Real good day in the NFL yesterday as well. And the real ones that watched the show yesterday already know what I'm liking today. But regardless, let's get straight into it, man. It's only one game today. Then maybe a few early looks into next week's card or college football, whatever Kelly wants to do. But Monday Night Football, man, let's talk about it. What do we have here? NFC Championship um, uh, revenge basically here. You got the 49ers laying 1.5 versus the Rams here, the defending champs, right, Kelly? The Rams, defending Super Bowl champs, sitting at the underdog in this game. Maybe seem kind of easy to take the Rams here, Kelly. What do you think? How you looking at this game?
Yeah, I wish Ski was here. I know he missed his flight, so he's missing us. But we were going back and forth on Twitter about how bad these teasers have been. So I want to just do a quick PSA. So the teasers that we do, 6.2 team minus 110 underdog teasers, they are kind of hard to find. So make sure you guys do shop around. But what we're looking for is those 1.5 to 2 point underdogs, or those 7.5 point favorites or so. Go between the key numbers of 3 and 7. The reason why I say minus 110 is important is because if you're laying 120, these are not profitable long term. You're laying 110, they are. Right now, they have been I've been getting obliterated. It started off with the Cowboys, the first Sunday night football game against the Bucks. It was the Vikings 2 weeks ago against the Eagles. Prime time has been crushing these teasers, but I got to tell you, I got them in a teaser left with the Cardinals. I gave out the Broncos yesterday because it was still available. And of course, the Broncos lose by 8. Or I'm sorry, 9. I needed them to lose by 8. It is what it is. But that's where I'm going tonight, Jay. And that's because you mentioned this is a big divisional game. And we know who owns the Rams. It's the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan
Facts.
has figured out a way to attack this Los Angeles defense. I do think that we're going to see Jimmy G in a better spot. Why? Because the 49ers are just a better team at home. Point blank, period, the end. What did we remember from last week's primetime game? That's right. The 49ers being completely inept on offense. The Denver Broncos being even worse. And somehow the Niners lost that game. It was just gross. And here's this Rams team that I think a lot of people were expecting to repeat. I was not one of them. So I did take the chicken easy way out. I got the Rams plus 8 in teasers. I do lean towards the Niners here, and that is just because the Rams have been a terrible underdog, 9-23 in their last 32 games as an underdog. This is like the opposite of a team that I want to be betting on as an underdog. I do think that Jimmy G is prone to make mistakes. We've seen it in the last 3 games. These teams have played. Jimmy G has thrown an interception, so maybe look out for that prop bet. I wouldn't pay minus more than 140 for it, but I do think we're going to see a lot of pressure on Jimmy G tonight. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, as we've seen with these two historically, but I think I'm too late on the under. I mean, this one has came down almost 5.5 points looking at the Wager Talk odds screen. So I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna take the wuss way out. I'm gonna just keep my Rams and a teaser. If you don't already have a teaser built in, maybe your book offers open teasers, and you can just start one up for next week, or begin to look ahead and see if there's any other spots to put them with for next week. While Jay's talking, I'll see what we got available on the Wager Talk odds screen.
Yeah, first off, man, appreciate to my guy in the chat, Units Only, man, always coming through, showing some love as well. It's a good day. But yeah, Kelly, you make some good points there. Could definitely be in a lower, see it being a lower score type game as well. Now, what do we have here, right? The Niners have basically owned the Rams, right? I don't know if it's coaching. I'm not sure if it's scheme, but that's kind of what I'm starting to figure out here, Kelly. Like sometimes one team just literally has their number. That's why I was all over K-State versus Oklahoma last week. And I mean, in the NFL, it happens as well. I really think it's down to coaching. So take it back to last year, the championship, the NFC championship game. San Francisco was up 17-7, right? It's still continuing to own the Rams. When the Rams
had them plus 3.5 too. Yeah. I was so frustrated in that game.
They had a better team last year. The Rams had a much better team. Still struggled with the 49ers, guys. They had to outscore them 13-0 in that fourth quarter to win the game by 3. Cooper Kupp obviously went off, but also it was Odell Beckham Jr. that had to take the top off, right? Now you can kind of sort of just focus on Kupp, double team him, make the rest of the team beat you. Last year, they had a little bit better passing attack. Stafford's elbows probably 100%, but the defense was a lot better as well. But Odell Beckham last year had 9 receptions for 113 yards as well. So you kind of had that 2 tandem there. They don't have that anymore, man. I love this Rams team. I said that they would win the Super Bowl last year, but this team has taken not a huge step back, but they have taken a step back this year, in my opinion. The 49ers in kind of a must-win situation here. Obviously, the Rams started off 2-1 after getting smacked up by the Bills, won 2 straight games. You got the 49ers here sitting at 1-2. This is a division game. They're at the house as well. See what I'm saying? You need to win this game, coming off a loss. Hopefully, Garoppolo can look good enough, but it's all about running the ball here in defense, in my opinion. I think they have the defense to stop the Rams in this spot. Damn near must-win type spot. Playoff revenge as well. So this isn't a huge play for me, guys, but I did make a small play on the 49ers, minus the 1.5 in this spot. The line is on it as well, so they have covered the last 5. They're 5-0 against the spread last 5 meetings and 6-1 last 7 straight up ATS. Before the Rams won the last game, San Francisco had beat them 6 straight times. It just seems like they have their number, in my opinion, Kelly. I like the Niners in this one.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Your other teaser spots, if you want to put the Rams in a teaser, you can put them in with the Packers, and you can put them in with the Bucks. And that's really about it. You can put them in with the Commanders, but boy, oh boy, like I said, that was my lone loss yesterday, and I was kicking myself so bad. What a frustrating team to try to back with your hard-earned dollars. I will not be making that mistake again. They are sanctioned to the do not bet list. But those are the 2 teaser spots. I actually just added both of those really quickly to my play for tonight with the Rams. I'm with you. I may decide here in the next couple hours before things kick off, something that Marco D'Angelo kind of taught me. Hey, sometimes you get a little overextended, right? As I mentioned, I got the Cards still left. The Broncos destroyed that other teaser leg, but I just put them in with the Packers and the Bucks for this week. Let's say I decide that there's something kind of wonky going on and I don't like the game, right? I can just go ahead and bet Niners on the money line. And then now you're sitting yourself for a nice 8-point middle. Who doesn't want an 8-point middle in the NFL? That's huge, especially through key numbers. So something to keep in mind there as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I can understand the lean to the under as well. It'll be a lot of running probably from both teams as well, because that's what the Rams have kind of started to figure out as well. They may be better off trying to run a little bit more than having Stafford being the pass-heavy type of guy, especially with him elbow still not being 100%. But I see Niners getting the job done here today, man. Like I say, Rams, in my opinion, I believe even though they got Wagner over there, somewhat a quarterback of defense, I still believe their defense as a whole has taken a step back. I don't think Ramsey is a shutdown corner anymore. Obviously, he's coming off off-season surgery as well. I love the Rams team, guys, but I don't think they're their championship caliber team that they were last year, and they still struggle versus the 49ers. So obviously this one's going to be on Garoppolo, because last week he acted like he definitely didn't even care. He was smiling after the loss. I don't like to see that, and that's why I'm not hammering this game. It's a small play for me on the 49ers. Had a really good week. So that's what I'm going with here, guys. Niners minus the 1.5, small play for me, but it's still trying to cash it here, Kelly. Any early looks? I know you were saying the teaser with the Packers. They are heading to London this game. Any early looks for week 5? Also Thursday night game, Colts versus Broncos as well. Any early looks?
You're right about that London game. It's going to be a really interesting matchup here with a pretty solid New York Giants team, right? 3-1. If I asked you 4 weeks in, you think the Giants would be 3-1? Not everybody would say yes. The reason why it's an easy spot for me to put Green Bay in a teaser is because favorites just crush in London. And maybe that's because of the old Jags and how terrible they were over there. But full disclosure, I said that look slight lean towards the Vikings. And if you bet the closing number before they announced Andy Dalton was going to be the quarterback, you got the cash. And I did say on Thursday that if, it's not going to be Jameis and it's going to be Andy Dalton, look for an overreaction to the line move. And you could have actually middled that game. So be cognizant of the numbers that you guys are betting, things of that nature. But I do lean towards the Packers in a teaser spot. I do think that they will go over there and get the win. Hopefully, with 8.5, 8 down below that 3. Hopefully it's by a field goal or more. And as far as that goes, that's really all I've been looking at. I want to make a case for New Orleans this week, but obviously I have to wait on Jameis Winston and going to keep an eye on a few other spots here, whether it's New England over the Lions. Lions much better as an underdog, as we've seen, than they are as a favorite. So keep an eye there. And Atlanta just sneaking by, super quiet. Nobody's even noticing that they're out there 2-2 and 4-0 against the spread. Tampa Bay could not have looked any worse last night. Finally, they did score some touchdowns, but that's the only way that they could even keep up with the track meet that was the Chiefs. So I will be looking at Atlanta catching too many points here in a divisional spot against Tom Brady. And listen, maybe Brady's got a lot more drama than we've realized. So just keep an eye on stuff like that. Like, I'm so glad I stayed off that game last night. I did lean towards Tampa Bay, but I said, hey, you guys know I have to bet against primetime Tom, and I couldn't do it. But I'm glad I just did not bet on something. I mean, look, the line moved 4.5 points, Jay. Like,
guy's 45 years old.
Prez gave out the Chiefs in our pick 5 pool, and I thought, God, Prez, that is so square. Like, what else is new with him? And guess what? Chiefs got the cash. That line move definitely faked a lot of people out, a lot of sharp guys on the Bucks. I didn't understand it. So those are just some really early looks. Obviously only Monday morning here. I guess it just is Monday afternoon now technically. But that being said, I'm going to have a nice card for this week. Underdogs in college football look pretty slim so far. So I got to do some digger deeping on this drive home.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, man. It's gonna be tough, man. Next week's card does look pretty tough, but yeah, and just the last night, all I kept hearing was, "Oh, I'm just taking Brady. No way Brady lose back-to-back games, man." I really think just to snip. I think he came back just to take some money from everybody. Everybody's gonna be betting on Brady. Oh, I got to bet on Brady. The guy is 45 years old, man. I think a lot of people are forgetting about that. Yeah, it's the name Tom Brady. Father Time is undefeated, guys. So that's the only thing I'm gonna say with that. Did cash with the Chiefs last night. But regardless to that, next week, man, I'd like to take the Saints. In theory, usually I feel like teams usually had a week off or had the bye week after the London game. So I don't like all the travel, but at least it's good that 3 of their main players didn't even make the trip, right? So if I'm not mistaken, Winston, Kamara, and Michael Thomas all stayed home. And you want to fade one of the worst teams in the NFL coming off a win. That's the Seahawks. They're heading on the road as well, back-to-back games. The Saints need a win in the worst way. In theory, the spot doesn't set up, but the Saints would be one of my top early looks. I didn't even bet it yet, but Saints would be one of the top.
And I think we can't bet it yet, right? Like, we have like 5 question marks here as far as injury concerns. I just said that was one of those things I was looking at. I'll be honest with you, the line move says that probably Kamara is going to play and probably Jameis is going to play. But the comments are right. You can't mess with this team with Andy Dalton. You just can't. Not right now.
It's Saints or nothing for me in that one. It's simple. Like, if me looking at the card blindly right now, I already looked at it. I already took a look at it. The Saints, let's just say, was at 4.5. It's gonna move, man. This shit might close at 7, especially if you get those guys ruled in. It's one of those that if you're expecting them to be back, you want to get on it early before it hits 7.5. The Saints could literally win that game by 2 touchdowns, man. Seriously, the Seahawks defense is that bad. The Saints have a good enough defense to hold Geno Smith, Lockett, and Metcalf at bay there, and that's all you need. But offensively, the Saints will look really good this week. I don't care, even if it's Dalton out there. Their offense will look a lot better this week. It's mainly on the Seahawks. That may be my play, guys. So like I said, I do this just to try to give you some early looks. early looks in football is the Saints for sure. Hadn't betted yet, but that's the look. Kelly, real quick, I know you do real good to college football. Any early thoughts on it? I know you say maybe not dogs, but just anybody that you're looking at.
Yeah, so I've got some early thoughts here. I thought the Iowa State game, now, granted, I bet on Iowa State the last 2 weeks. I had them against Baylor and I had them against Kansas, and boy, did they shoot themselves in the foot. The refs didn't help out either, but I think it's kind of crazy to look at this and say, wow, they're a pick 'em to Kansas State. Looks like a trap game. Hopefully, my Wildcats can sneak out of Ames with a win, because this team, I think, has something special. I think TCU laying 7 over KU is probably the biggest joke of the week. This line, Jay, if KU would have just lost to, let's just say they lost to Iowa State last week, and all the chips came crumbling down, this line would be 9.5. Like, KU is consistently beating the market. They are consistently getting all the love from the public, and it doesn't matter. But I thought when that opened 5, I said, no way. This one's crazy. Now it's up to 6.5, 7. On the flip side, you got Oklahoma as a 7-point underdog. Jay, you already know I'm going to be all over Oklahoma this week. Back-to-back losses, 7-point underdog in the Red River shootout. I am completely floored.
I'm right there with you. I'm leaning Oklahoma. These are the type of spots that Texas lose. Now, Oklahoma has taken a step back this year. Like, I wasn't surprised. Definitely wasn't surprised they lost to Kansas State. But when they got smacked versus TCU like that, now we know. But, yeah, in theory, they should be really hot. Obviously, they're always going to be hyped for this game, but they're getting too many points in that game. It's probably be a 3-point. If Oklahoma doesn't lose, if they don't win the game, then they'll probably keep it within 3. You're definitely on the right track. If they'll win, it might get to 7. It might get to 7, but definitely would lean Oklahoma. I'm leaning SMU as well, man. On this Wednesday night game, I'll definitely be going live for this one, but heavy leaning to SMU plus the points versus UCF right now. Kelly, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I don't blame you. And that is just because this SMU team has been really, really scrappy. Obviously, they got smacked in the mouth by TCU, but this TCU football program is really good. UCF used to be such money, but they've kind of started to fall off the last couple of years, right? So I'll be looking at them at home on Wednesday. I think it looks like a trap game. I think the whole world is going to be on SMU here. That scares me. Am I going to probably get involved? Probably not. Obviously, this has been a makeup game. This was supposed to be played last Saturday, so they moved it to Wednesday. But outside of that, I think the other team I'm going to be looking at is Missouri at Florida. I think this Missouri team might be a little bit better than people think. We'll keep an eye on things. Obviously, it's early looks on Monday afternoon. Lots of work to do in between now and then.
Yeah, no, that's facts right there. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough week, man. But I'll definitely be on here live. Obviously, Friday with Dave Koken, man. Me, myself, Ski, and Rob. We're gonna be doing some NBA team previews as well tomorrow, Friday, Thursday, all that good stuff, man. But hey, let's get out of here. Oh, Ski did have a question in the chat. Ski put, I guess, Asher. I think he's basically saying that he likes the Bucks. He's saying favorites of 4 more off 2 straight losses as a fave, 46-10-1 straight up. 40-16-1 against the spread. Don't think it's a Brady spot for spot bettors. In theory, I can tell you this: Falcons are due to fade. They're due to have a huge letdown spot. In theory, obviously Buccaneers coming off 2 straight losses as well. Still at the house, their defense could win that game by double digits.
I don't know, man. My problem is with that defense. And my aunt texted me this morning. She's a big Chiefs fan, and she said so much for that Buccaneers defense. And I'll be honest, man, they not only are they banged up, but they are not that same team that won the Super Bowl. You nailed the revenge angle, Jay, on the Chiefs. And that was something I guess I kind of didn't think about. And that's just because it's been a couple of years, but they put it on that defense.
The defense is still good. The Chiefs were out for fucking blood, Kelly. They were out for blood. Mahomes was not losing that game. I'm not about to get hyped up about this shit again, but the Chiefs were not losing that game. I liked what I saw from the Bucs defense. Those 2 linebackers, man, let's just say this. Ski, I may be on the Bucs with you. Let's just put it that way. A pissed off team versus a team that's riding high. These are the situations that you want to buy. It's literally a buy low and a sell high, literally all in one game. I might have to take the Bucks, man. I got to put them in something, man.
Yeah,
But
like I told you, they're a perfect teaser spot tonight with the
hey,
Rams -2.5. Get the Bucks
I
in a
don't want to hear
divisional
that.
game under a field goal. Come on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to hear that teaser though. I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm
I know
sorry.
they've been trashed.
Ram,
I know I got to
this,
talk to Marco about it today on Bet on It later on because he knows they've been rough because he gets a text from me every single Sunday, me cussing out one team, like yesterday being the Broncos, that just couldn't keep it respectable. We're asking, professional athletes to keep within a touchdown here in low total situations.
yeah, no, that's a good point there. Yeah, Bucks and Saints, guys, for next week. Those are the ones I'm looking at heavily. So it's just early looks. I hadn't bet neither one of them yet, but yeah, the spot sets up for both of them, in my opinion, man. But let's get out of here to some let's talk about some shirts real quick, man. Let's talk about some shirts, man. Floating Head Jay is here with the Let's Get Some Cash shirt. If you hadn't got, this is my lucky shirt right here, guys. So whether it's the light blue, the green, the black, or the dark blue, I put the Let's Get Some Cash shirts on. And let's just say it's been 4 straight really profitable weekends, my guys. And I'm not even a football expert, but let's keep it going. Get those orders in at jmoneyismoney.com or DM me on Twitter, my guys. But let's get to some free NFL picks now. Kelly, what are you liking on tonight's card? It could be something for next week. Give us a bet that you're liking the cash, my lady.
Yeah, I think I started looking around while you were talking, Jay. I think I like Jimmy Garoppolo to throw an interception. You can find it at -150. -140. So definitely shop around, guys. But I think that's a fun prop bet. Now, again, we all know I'm not a big prop better, but as I mentioned more recently, that is how the Rams have kept it respectable in some of these games, is because they forced Jimmy G to turn the ball over. Jimmy, by all means, you mentioned that he was smiling after the game and stuff. I know that he can be a gamer, but sometimes I think he lets those GQ moments go to his head. And his blind side was not protected at all in Denver. So I could easily see him either make some sort of turnover, interception, fumble, whatever it is. I would be expecting at least one from the 49ers tonight. So I think I'm going to lay it here with Jimmy G to throw an INT.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they do have a huge offensive line injury as well. Is his name Trent Williams or somebody? What's his name, Kelly? But I know that they do have a main offensive lineman now, but
let me double check the injury report.
It'd be interesting to see if the Rams pass rush can get there, man. It's a tough game, guys. I always say when it's just one game on the card.
Yeah, Trent Williams is out indefinitely for the rest of the year.
I know that he's out for sure. I was just trying to get his name right. So they do have an offensive lineman out, guys. I know a lot of people are literally taking the Rams just thinking that the 49ers won't be able to block them. So, like I say, anything can happen in tonight's game. It's definitely a toss-up type game. I'm going with the team that is basically shown that they've owned the other squad. Could be some there, or the Rams could be due to start back owning the 49ers now. But in the game of last year where the Rams had the best team that they've had in years, basically forever, you see what I'm saying? A loaded Rams team, even still, they struggled versus the 49ers, had to come back from 13 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to only win by 3. Now you get the Niners in the revenge spot with championship revenge as well, even if the Rams are still taking this game seriously. This is them near a must-win spot for the 49ers here versus the division foe that they know very well here, playing at the house as well, have a really good defense. So let's see what happens in this one. Small play for me on the Niners, -1.5. Back tomorrow with my guy Ski and Rob Vino doing plenty of NBA team previews, man. It's also $9 Monday over there at Wager Talk, man. Go check us out. I'm staring at the Wager Talk odds screen right now. It's definitely something you guys should be using. Go follow us on Twitter. Go follow Kelly right now at Kelly in Vegas. You can follow me as well at JMoneyIsMoney. We out, my guys. Let's get this cash. Take these bookies. Smack City.